We are all meeting this morning, and I would like to just let everyone know that the meeting is being recorded and that everyone, if they can remain on mute, and if you want to say something, just unmute, but please try not to disturb the speakers when they're talking. And let me think, what else do we need to go through for ground rules? I think that's it for now. Okay, so welcome everyone, and let's get ready for a great meeting today. So I'd like to hand it over to our president to open the meeting, Ms. Ayu.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you so much. Welcome to Roseburg and speakers and storytellers, everyone. Every week we meet again and again and again, repeatedly, and that's the point of Toastmaster, being in Toastmaster. I want to quote Zig Ziglar. That's the famous quote, and one of my favorite: repetition is the mother of language. Limitation is the mother of learning. That's the one. Today we have Deja. So again, I would like to say happy birthday, Deja. And then the second one, I would like to welcome our area director, area 22 director, Renee Taylor. Thank you, ma'am, for being here. She is just take up a role, or two roles actually, grammarian and accountant. Thank you for that. Heider, welcome back, sir. And everybody, let's just get started. The theme of today's meeting is tell me a story, or tell us a story. Ruku will assign us on doing telling us some story in table topic. So now, as usual, every Toastmaster meeting we have theme, and the theme of today is the grammarian and accountant is Renee. Renee, would you be willing to introduce your role and how you will do it? And also introduce our word of the day.
The accountant is primarily looking for words that are used as a crutch to fill pauses unnecessarily. Common ones would be so, like. The grammarian will be looking for improper use of words, just using the incorrect word or an incorrect phrase. The word of the day is elated, which is a great word because I am elated to be with you all this morning. It means ecstatically happy. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Madam Grammarian and accountant. Now let's welcome our immediate past president, Tiger, as our timer today.
Thank you, Miss President / Toastmaster of the day. And with timing, you will be seeing green when you're envious. I mean, you'll be seeing green when you're at your minimum time. So for table topics, that'll be 1 minute. You'll be seeing yellow for table topics at 1.5 minutes, and you'll be getting the red at 2 minutes. You will have 1/2 minute, 30 seconds to wrap up your table topics. Sarah, being the professional speaker she is, doesn't need me to explain her timing, so we'll just move right on. I am elated to be the timer. This will be a fun meeting. Back to you, Miss Toastmaster.
Thank you, Madam Mr. Timer. Sorry. I can I can be asleep too, you know. And welcome, Alice. Alice is here. Yay. She's still trying to connect her audio. Alice, hi, welcome. And just to let you know, Alice, our word of the day is elated.
Okay.
Next, we are going to start our meeting. Just directly dive deep into the first portion of the meeting, which is prepare speech. Our first prepare speech speaker is Alice. Alice, are you ready? Oh, wow. Silva, are you ready?
Yes, indeed. I'm elated.
Yay. Okay. Alice's speech is actually for her preparation for the district level contest, international speech. So let's welcome Alice.
It was New Year's Day. I received a message on my phone. It was one of my beloved students, Helen. Mrs. Alice, I wish you to have health, happiness, and smiles. I also want to thank you for your help and your support to my new life. I will never forget it. How sweet of her, I thought, but what does she mean? How did I help her to her new life? I asked her and she answered. When I didn't know what to do in my life, you told me that you believe I was born to be an actress. Now I'm studying acting at National Theatre. You saw in me something that I couldn't see in myself, and that changed my life. I couldn't believe this impact in that girl's life. I just said what I saw. It was easy. Have you ever met someone who has changed your life because he saw something in you that you couldn't see in yourself? Have you ever helped someone to see his light? In my 15 years as a singing teacher, many times I have been regarded as a mentor for my students. One of these times was 3 years ago when I met Helen. She was a tall, sweet, shy, 16 years old girl with long blonde hair. She came to me to learn how to sing. Hi, Helen, what can I do for you? Hi, I want to sing, but I'm afraid I can't. She was such a strong girl, but with the fear of being hurted or being judged by others. She didn't seem to believe in herself at all, but from what I felt in her presence, it was easy to believe in her. We started working together. I will never forget the first time she sang in front of a small audience. She was trembling in fear. I wanna sing, I wanna shout, I wanna scream till the words drown out. I will never make it. Can't you see it? Helen, the only way to make it is to be on stage again and again and again until you win. Trust me, I have been through this. We continued working for 2 more years. She got very much better in singing, but when she was in front of an audience, instead of singing, she was sinking in an ocean of doubt, despair, and dreadfulness. When was the last time you knew you were able to get something done, but The fear of the critical moment of performance felt paralyzing to you? Last summer, I proposed her to sing in a student's concert and she accepted. 2 days before the concert, she came to me and told me, Mrs. Alice, I'd better not sing. I'm not well prepared. Helen, you are prepared. You can sing. Please trust me and try. It was easy for me to encourage her because I could see that she had it in her. And the day of the concert came. We did the sound check 2 hours before the concert. It was a disaster. She couldn't breathe. She couldn't finish her phrases. Oh my God, what are we going to do now? If that happens when it's her turn to sing, she'll get very much disappointed. And after so much work we have done, I'm afraid she will quit singing. Maybe I shouldn't insist. Maybe I shouldn't push her. I started doubting myself. And the moment came. She stood on the stage and the intro started. She was singing Where Do I Begin by Andy Williams. She looked at her audience. Then she looked at me. And then the audience again. And she inhaled. Where do I begin to tell the story of how great a love can be? The sweet love story that is older than the sea. The simple truth about the love he brings to me. Where do I start? Helen suddenly stood straight and tall in front of her audience. She looked at them in the eyes and told them her love story for songs and actors and plays she dreams to play. Her singing was clear, straight to the heart. As I was playing the piano for her, my fingers went numb, my eyes became watery, and I thought, that's why I became a teacher. She is the reason. Helen fought her fear and self-doubt on her own. I was there to whisper in her ear that she can win with this. It turns out that we both won that day. And I want to challenge you to say it out loud when you see the good in others, because it is easy for you to see it, as it is easy for them to doubt it. Say it when you see it. Encourage people to sing their hearts. Thank you.
If I can duplicate myself, become 1,000 or 10,000 people with the crowd. And that's for you, Alice. I believe everybody agree with me. Fellow Toastmaster, let's wish Alice all the best on the district contest this coming Saturday, Oregon time. So welcome for everybody. You are very welcome to come and support Alice. The date and the time will be posted later on in the WhatsApp group. Next, we go to second speaker. Alice, one thing. What is the title of your speech?
Say it when you see it.
Say it when you see it. Okay, that's the title. Next, we are going to the second speaker. And Sarah, would you please share with us the title of your speech?
Sure, it's gonna be The Price of Cheap Fashion
the price of cheap fashion.
And this will be level 4 elective.
Right.
Managing difficult audience.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody, let's welcome Sarah Diaz.
The value of the global apparel market is $1.5 trillion, and it is expected to reach $2 or $3 trillion in the next 3 years. Fellow Toastmasters, I found this topic to be a very interesting one, at least for me, and I started some research so that I will share with you some of my findings, thinking that it could be also very interesting for you. First, I would like to know how it is the status of you. What do you mean, or what do you think of when you are buying new clothes? And I will ask you some questions.
Sarah,
Please.
can I
Yes?
ask you one question?
We will have some time at the end so that you can ask your questions.
Is it true that the clothes are 1 trillion at 1 trillion market?
Yeah, most likely it is like this. I will start with my presentation and I will show you some information and then we can start with the questions, okay? So first, let me ask you something. Do you have a closet full of garments that you never use? Are you that person? Another question.
So many people who wear so many garments. Please be minimalist. You don't have to have so many closets with so many garments and clothes. People, you use less.
That's the point.
I don't like the idea of having so many clothes and so many closets. I mean, please, on this earth, there is not enough for greed. It's just enough for our basic survival. Focus on survival, gentlemen, ladies.
Thank you, Yasmin, for this opinion. This is the point of this presentation, and let me continue. And at the end, you can share your opinion. I would like also to know if you are of those people that just buy cheap fashion just because it's on sale, just because it is cheap, no matter if you don't use it, if you don't need it. Are you that kind of people?
Well, so many raised their hands before. Why do these people buy then so many clothes if they don't go for cheap clothes? Come on, guys, you raise your hands again.
Thank you for that, Yasmin. Now, the last question before continue to the topic. Are you that kind of people that prefers high quality over low price?
I know a place where you can buy good quality clothes. My brother has a website you can go to.
Yeah, Shilpa, don't start promoting your brother in a Toastmaster meeting. Come on.
But everyone wants to buy nice clothes.
Yeah,
I'll give you 10% discount.
Let me explain some. Thank you, Yasmin. Okay, thank you for your opinions. Let me start with the point of this meeting. I will ask you already that if you have some comments or some questions, just take some notes and at the end we can address them. Well, as I told you, the topic is the price of cheap fashion. I will go through 3 topics. They will be what is cheap or fast fashion, what are the effects of fast fashion, and what are some challenges that I will give you to try to minimize these effects of fast fashion. And now I can start by telling you that I am one of the victims of marketing because
always take advantage of those offers and end of season sales. In the past, it was more that I used to buy many clothes that I only storage in my closet and never use. And then I realized that it was a big problem. I can also show you some of the things that I have still with the tab. Just thinking about using them for some time in the future, and that future never came. I realized this point was so important when I moved from Mexico to Germany, because I was able to pack like 4 or 5 suitcases to move to Germany.
I
And
cannot
I
see the
still,
picture. I don't see what is the picture here. Is it a suitcase or is it a chair or what is it? I don't
exactly.
see the picture.
When I was moving to Germany, I packed like 5 suitcases full of stuff.
The
And
airline allows only 2.
well, there were 5, and then my closet was still looking like this. So I
Sarah,
realized,
she paid for the over budget. We can have extra baggage. Yeah, we
Oh,
can
your
pay
company is
extra.
so good.
well, yeah, thank you for that information. The point here is I had a big problem because I had too much more that I needed. Moreover, after 1 year in Germany, I realized that I was only using the garments of 1 or 2 suitcases. So I needed to do something against this shopping. I also realized that this cannot be sustainable and it has big consequences. For example, and then here I go to explain a little bit what is fast
it was having
fashion.
consequences still. You chose to do so. Why?
Yeah, exactly,
If there
because
were
I thought
consequences,
it
you
was,
should have eliminated the scene.
I thought as all of you or many of you, there was not consequences of buying cheap. But then I realized that there are environmental and social consequences of buying that amount of clothes.
But I cannot
So-
see the picture. The picture is too small.
Okay, never mind. The point is that it was too much for me. So I realized that there are some environmental and some social consequences of buying just without thinking. And some of those consequences are that the production of clothes is performed in very low cost countries where people are not paid fairly. This is one. The other is that the production has to be so fast that the chemicals and all what is used in the textiles is not regulated, is not quality enough, and it's damaging the planet too much.
But it brings in employment to those people. They need employment.
Yeah, and that's why there are some organizations right now, that is the positive side, that are looking that those people have the right conditions for working. They are doing some list of the brands that are compliant with those regulations, so that you or me or all the consumers can look in the internet and look for those brands that are really compliant with this working conditions. The other bad thing about cheap fashion is the waste. If you used to buy every day or every week, and you only use your garments for 2 or 3 times, then you will throw them, and the pollution caused by those clothes, it's a big problem to our planet. In the small picture, you can see the Atacama Desert in Chile, where most of those textile waste is going now, and it is a big problem of how to recycle it. So with this said, just presenting some of the social and environmental problems caused by this fast fashion, I will recommend you 3 challenges that can be incorporated to your daily life, and those can reduce the bad effects to the environment.
Yeah, but then we have flea markets, no? We can go and buy it in flea markets. Why do people throw clothes?
Yeah, exactly. What I'm asking you to do is just to be more conscious when you want to buy clothes.
But
And
I cannot see what's written there. I don't see the picture.
I will tell you, so don't worry. The first challenge that I want you to please think about is stop buying clothes for one
I have
whole
to go
year.
to a wedding next month. What should I do?
Well, stop buying new clothes, only do replacement. Look for some dress that you already have in your closet. If you really don't have anything, then you can buy a new one, or you can buy a second-hand one, which is much better for the environment.
Rent from your friend, Shilpa. Borrow it from your friend.
I think I can borrow from Sarah. Can you send me some from Europe?
Let me continue, and then at the end we can check this topic. The second challenge that I would like you to think about is that you choose high quality instead of low price, because with high quality, you can use your clothes for more times and not just throw them away. And the third challenge is something similar to that what I already said to Chilpa. Try to give your clothes a second chance, which means donate them or sell your clothes in the internet or in some stores, or even buy some second-hand clothes.
I have clothes for my mother and it looks new and I can wear that.
That's a very good thing to do. Try to use the clothes and maintain them in a very good state so that the planet is not suffering from too much weight. And with this, I finished my presentation. I hope you can take some of those challenges for your own life. I will pass the word now to Ayu.
That is a very difficult audience you got. Oh my goodness. And I think your timing, in terms of timing, you are good. Timer report, please.
Sarah was right at 12:27, which quite frankly is a miracle considering the interruptions. And Alice was at 7:07, perfect for her speech.
Yeah, just to let you know that Sarah actually 12 to 15 minutes. So she is actually 12 to 15, right, Sarah? Supposed to be 12 to 15.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
Oh,
12
okay.
something should be okay.
What did you time, Tiger?
Oh, I had 10 to 12.
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be 10 to 12.
12 to 15s. Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
in
okay.
that case, Sarah is actually very much good, very effective.
Yeah, Sarah, you have a whole 2 or 3 more minutes to be interrupted. You want to go ahead and continue?
So, fellow Toastmaster, this is the interesting in Toastmaster project. We have managing a project named Managing Difficult Audience, when some of the people here will interrupt you and how you connect or how you handle this difficult audience. Might happen in the workplace when you do some presentation, right? So Thank you, Sarah. And now we are going to the most interesting part of the meeting, which is table topic. And Ruku, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, fellow Toastmaster. Ruku.
So, everybody, I will show a picture one by one. And as per the theme we have today for our meeting, tell me a story. So every one person which I'm choosing on a particular picture has to tell a story, and the other person whom I'll choose will have to continue the same story, taking the picture within the answer they are giving. So please try to correlate the story with the further person who has told a story relating to their picture. Am I clear, or should I repeat it again? Okay, let's start. Now, first of all, I would like to call upon Miss Yasmin.
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay. I am so excited. I'm so excited to see this picture because this is the beautiful lake from my city, Udaipur. And the lake is called Fateh Sagar. So this is a story coming from one of the beautiful city in India, which is called Udaipur, and the lake is called Fateh Sagar. And you see two bicycles here because the government here is promoting cycling around the tourist place. And there is a girl who wants to escape COVID. So she is cycling around the lake, but there are two cycles. So the second cycle is of her friend who is not at all cyclist, but she forced her. She begged her to cycle with her so that they can both go for long distance cycling around the lake. The other lady is not interested in cycling, but this passionate girl who wants to escape COVID wants to go cycling with her friend only because her mother otherwise would not allow her to go alone. So let's see how this cycling saga between the passionate cyclist and the other girl who is forced into cycling carries on. I give it to the next one.
So now I would like to call upon Rini.
Renee.
And this is the image for you.
Her name is Renee, Ruku.
Sorry, sorry.
Her name is Renee. That's how we spell it, Renee.
Renee. Okay, I'm sorry for the wrong pronunciation.
I apologize, Madam Table Topics Master. I was not having my attention where it should have been. Are you calling on me for table topics?
Yes, I'm calling for you.
And this is my picture. All right. Fellow Toastmasters, I am not one to eat this type of food. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It looks like it might be French toast. I'm a very picky eater, and I would only say that as far as an episode of this particular food and myself might have occurred when in my childhood, someone was serving this and I probably would have started to cry. I would not have been ecstatic. I will tell you that for certain. I've always felt very awkward around food that I'm uncomfortable eating. I don't know how to tell the server or the person providing the food without being rude that I have no intention of consuming it. You can imagine how awkward a situation this is for me from time to time, especially during my childhood. And this really happened several times during my childhood, that I would be presented with food that I interpreted as not going to be eaten, not by me anyway. I don't know if any of you have suffered this type of circumstance. It's very uncomfortable, very unpleasant. And I had a lot of times when I would cry as a child because my food was unappetizing or made me actually feel ill just looking at it. I'm a very picky eater. And I'm sorry that this had to be exposed to you all because it's not a very pleasant subject in my life. Now that I'm adult, of course, I can just pick and choose the very few foods that I will consume, and I don't have to have this issue. I hope somebody would enjoy eating that French toast. It looks very nicely arranged and done. Thank you very much, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much for your answer. Okay, so next I would like to choose upon Mr. Tiger. Kindly relate the story, please.
Thank you, Miss Table Topics Master. I see a bird in a cage overlooking an incredibly beautiful landscape. This story begins with a girl. She went to the pet store when she was 7 years old and bought herself a bird. She put the bird in a cage. She put newspaper in the cage. She fed the bird every day. The bird would sing to her. But as she grew up, it was time for her to go off to college. And she thought to herself, I don't want to take this bird to my dorm. I'm going to sit out on the deck and let it get used to the local environment, listen to the sounds and see the animals and hear things. In 2 minutes, she's going to open that cage, and that bird is going to fly out and be free. Hopefully, a hawk or an eagle won't kill it right away and give it a chance to get used to its environment, get some food, and live happily ever after. Back to you, Miss Table Topics Master.
Now for the next image, I'm choosing Amy.
Well, after I was doing my bird watching and I'd finished my French toast and my cycle around that beautiful lake, I decided it was time to hit the town, and I got my glad rags out and ready. Oh wait, yes, and my handbag being my most important and valuable item when I decide that I want to go out and hang out. And I'd just like to share with you guys what I keep in my handbag because it's really valuable. And I actually feel that this could be a really helpful tip for everyone. Always remember your phone, your pen, and a Post-it, because you never know when you want to write a little note and stick it on someone or something, whatever. This is what I do to remind myself when I'm interacting with people or when I see something nice or anything like that. Just, you know, ways to leave your mark around and remember, people know that you were there. You know, they'll never forget a little post-it stuck onto them. And as I said, always have your mobile with you. So these are all the items that I like to bring when I'm on my evening out. And as I said, I had a full day. I was cycling by that beautiful lake, had my French toast, and I had those birds that I love taking in as well. So if I can offer any more tips, please feel free to ask me. And right now I'd like to hand it back to the table topics master. Thank you.
I'm elated with your answer, really. Now for the next answer, I'm choosing Shilpa.
Yes, Ruku?
I'm choosing you for this image. Can you please continue the story?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rukaya. I'm elated. I'm going to eat cake. I had a tough, long day. Although it was fun with the cycling, bird watching. Then I got to some work with the post-it note and the diary. And now it's evening. It's time to celebrate. It's time to be jubilant. I am going to my friend's birthday party. Wow, this cake, it looks delicious. I would definitely like to have it. You all should join me in soon. You don't want the cake to be finished. I'm sure you want a bite of it. This has been a day that is like the perfect kind of day that brings in so much joy too. That has brought so much joy to me. I got some workout. I did some work and I'm getting good food to eat. What can be better than that? Taking care of my health, my appetite, and my work, all enrolled together in one day. I am off to diving deep into this yummy chocolate cake right now. Come on, you all join me before it's gone. So happy birthday once again, Rakaya. Let's dive into this yummy cake.
Heather, you are next.
Well, after collecting all my things from the office, I got on my bicycle and I rushed back to my home. And then I played with my birds and fed them. And then I got back in kitchen, asked my mom, what did she make? Well, I got to know a French toast. Well, I most likely hate the French toast because I don't like sweet things to be eaten. But in that case, and then I got back to my room and then I remembered, oh, it's Rukaya's birthday. Well, I sure do hate sweet things, but I do like cakes. Well, after celebrating Rukaya's birthday and eating a whole chunk of a cake by myself, well, it's time for some some salty and sour things too. It looks like we have a treat. We are in a for treat. Well, after having that delicious cheese toast, I was all fed and well, my fitness was on a bad side now because I have probably consumed cheese and I've consumed the chocolate cake. But well, it's not so compromised because I was on a cycle. I was on a cycle from my office back to my home. And well, that's all. And back to you, table topic master.
Teja, you are next.
Don't hear you, Deja. You're muted. Please unmute.
Thank you, Yasmin, and thank you, Madam Topics Master. What time is it? It is early. I am definitely not elated to be up this early. One of the perks of being up this early, though, some French toast, yes. Maybe I'll get onto the bike, take a trip around the neighborhood, wake myself up with some fresh, crisp morning air. Then I'll continue my day, maybe explore the downtown area, get some cheese toast for lunch, watch the birds fly overhead, and just take a walk, enjoying my day. In the evening, I will perhaps see a movie. I think it's been years since I've seen a movie. 2 years since I've been in a movie theater. Feel that nice, cool air and eat that salty, buttery popcorn and just lose myself in the scene of the movie and the story of the movie. Have a story told to me on screen. And then I'll end my day with some dinner and just sitting by myself to reflect on a relaxing day and fun-filled adventure. Thank you.
Okay, let's see who will end the story. And for this, I'm choosing Ayu or Alice. Ayu.
Bonfire! Yay! What a nice things to do, to have a bonfire to end the day. After the whole day, having all that cake, French toast in the morning, and then go to the birthday party, having the chocolate cake, and then having some savory thing, just half and half with Hader. Share with Hader, right? Finally, we can gather Silpa, Ruku, Deja, Tiger, Yasmin, everybody there. We will tell our story one by one, and then another round, and then another round until we don't realize it was midnight. Time to bed. So everybody go back to their tent and sleep. Thinking around about that bird and the cycling, the lake, having that dream and hope that tomorrow will be a new day. Table topic master.
Thank you so much, Ayu. Thank you everyone for participating. I'm elated by your answers. Back to you, Ms. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Ruku. That was fantastic. Everybody. Hey, Yasmin, what is that? Is that some savory thing or some sweet things? Oh, naan.
Papad.
That's the papad she was talking about in the last meeting.
Yeah, I'm addicted to papad. It's
It's
a
like
big
a tostada, like a Mexican tostada.
Okay. Mr. Timer, can we have timing report, please?
Yes, sorry. We are all within time. Very nicely done. Yasmin, 137, Renee, 208. I was 147, Amy, 133, Shilpa, 141, Hader, 118, Deja, 122, and IU, 129. And don't go anywhere. I have something to show you. And there is IU by the bonfire. You can see that. Okay, back to you, Miss Toastmaster of the day, IU.
Thank you, Tiger. Time flies when we are having fun. we just arrived to the third portion of the meeting, or the last one, the final one, and the meat of the meeting, which is evaluation. With this, I hand over the control to our general evaluator today, Ishel.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster Aju. Okay, we can start with the first part, that is with our speakers. That Alice, her evaluator is Shilpa. So, are you ready, Shilpa? Yes, okay. The screen is yours.
See it. Say it when you see it. I saw a great speech today, and I'm elated to say that this was a contest-winning quality speech. Many congratulations, Alice, and bless you, Tiger. This speech shows how you were influential, how your influence was very important, how you were instrumental in influencing Helen to reach the heights that she could not see. There were many good parts in the speech itself, and that has been proven because it has brought you this far in competition, Alice. But I will take this opportunity to give you some tips so that you can elevate the speech even further and bring in more accolades for yourself and the club. So let me just dive straight into the recommendations here, that how can this be even more, you can be on fire with this. These are small little things, but they can make a huge difference. When you started, it just started. So I would say pause. Give the audience just those 2 seconds to focus their eyes on you, and then start. Your beginning looked a little bit rushed, although you know your pauses very well, and the speech took off when you started playing your role. But in the beginning, that it needed a little more pause, especially in the very beginning before you started speaking. So that could have made the difference. Like when you were playing the girl, Helen, when she says actress, you could show some hesitation, like with your voice, you could have shown like she was doubtful. Can I be the actress? Something like this. But then I'll have to give you credit where it's due. It really took off once you were past that. The other thing is I could not see your actions fully. Because I have seen you give the speech earlier, I could compare. Your lighting was a little different today, and but somehow your actions were cutting off a little bit, just a little bit, so they could not make the full impact they were meant to make. Now, this was about the delivery. The other thing about the delivery is a simple prop, like you're a singer or Helen is a singer. So if you can incorporate a mic, that would really be nice for us to visually see something related to singing, if that can be done at all. Talking about the message itself, say it when you see it. So if this can be repeated 3 times throughout the speech, like once you said, have you ever felt that fear? But then at the second point, you could have, it would have been more interactive with the audience. You could have said, when was the last time you doubted what you were saying to someone? Or do you hold back when you, to say something that you see in someone? Something like that. And then you made the final call to action. You interacted with the audience at the very end. But you did it twice. Had you done it thrice, I think it would have been even better. So those would be my recommendations. Don't let your actions cut off. Take your proper pauses and then make your call to action or interaction with the audience even stronger. Just because I have seen the speech earlier, I felt that probably today it needed a little bit more work. Nonetheless, it was an excellent speech. It was a contest level speech. You gave us both the sides of the story very well. You ended with a call to action, and you said in the end that if you say it, people can see it in their heart. So that message was also in the end very clear. Thank you, Alice, for the speech, and excuse my getting confused between the two things. Thank you. I know I went a little over time today.
Yes, thank you, Shilpa. Now it's time for hear the evaluation of our second speaker, Sarah, that is given by Amy. Amy, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Michelle. I have the pleasure of evaluating Sarah on her task today of handling a difficult audience. And she certainly did have a difficult audience. There was constant chitter chatter throughout, and I have to commend Sarah that she really kept her cool and was very laid back without like, despite all these interruptions. I have a recommendation there though. Sarah, you could have had a little laugh, because there was a bit of banter sometimes, and maybe just brought in a bit of joking just to kind of like, okay, and then bring it back. Sarah, your ability to bring it back was on point. Every time someone jumped in with a little bit of chitter chatter or question or whatever, there was a very accurate, okay, thank you. There was commenting and praise to say, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it, on board. Now let's bring it back to it. And that was a real smart tactic to like keep on track with your speech. There was one point where I think it felt a little like you've been derailed, and I have to say, Sarah, I noticed that you pulled it back really quickly, and then you also brought out some props. But this is not an evaluation on your speech. This is an evaluation on how you handled the difficult audience. So I will get back to that. With a comment I have then is, Sarah, you're bringing it back to the audience, or sorry, you were saying, oh yeah, your answers at the end, please, your answers at the end. Now, I know there was an issue with timing, so you were robbed of 3 minutes. And I'm not sure if there was the intention to try get those questions in there at the end. But as that didn't happen, it would have been worthwhile to kind of just say, okay, guys, thank you all so much. Sorry, we're out of time now. I'm not going to get an opportunity to address your questions. Possibly, would you like to send them in to me and we can discuss it later? So, you know, just to that you're honoring everyone and that you did take on board that they had these questions and that you intend to respond to them in a different means, but you'd ran out of time. That's just a comment there with that. But overall, regarding the speech, I think you handled it really well. And I've seen this being done a couple of times, and I haven't seen such a difficult audience. I also feel like a bit of a round of applause to the interrupters as well. This was serious acting today. And so, Sarah, yeah, congratulations. You did a great job, and it's a fantastic speech as well.
Thank you very much, Amy, for your evaluation. Now it's time to Deja as evaluator for table topic. Are you ready, Deja?
Yes, thank you, General Evaluator.
Okay, the screen is yours.
Thank you. For table topics, the overall goal was to tell a story about the picture shown by Ruku. Is that your nickname, Ruku, instead of
Yes,
Rukwaya?
that is my nickname.
Okay. And continue the story from the previous person's speech. The first picture was 2 bicycles next to a lake, and the first speaker was Yasmin. Yasmin, the first thing I wanted to note is the accent on the word bicycle. I believe you said bicycle or something like that, I forget, but the correct pronunciation is bicycle. You had great vocal variety and very quick thinking. No pauses or ums, but you did use the word so a few times. The next person to speak was Renee, and her picture was French toast. She spoke about how she's a very picky eater. The one thing that I noted was that you used the word ecstatic, and that would have been the perfect opportunity to use the word of the day, elated. Additionally, did not continue the story, which was one of the instructions from the table topics master. The third speaker was Tiger, and his picture was of a bird in a cage. Tiger always has great vocal variety, and additionally, he did not continue the story from the 2 pictures ahead before him. The fourth person to speak was Amy, and Amy did a good job of continuing the story per the instructions from the table topics master. I can tell that she is a very creative and quick thinking person. Her story flowed very well, and she was able to bring in each of the previous pictures before her. Fifth was Shilpa. I wanted to commend you on the use of the word jubilant. In addition to being similar to elated, you did use the word elated as well, I think twice. Shilpa, you have great vocal variety as well. You emote in your words. I can feel the emotion in your words when you speak. Sixth was Hater. He had a picture of cheese bread, I think is what we were calling it. Hater, you had some very good quick thinking. Some tips I have for you is that you can slow down on your story. Enjoy yourself as you're speaking. Don't just try to get through it. And then you also use the word well too much. That is your filler word, well. Then I was chosen. As table topics evaluator, I didn't think I'd be chosen. I wasn't prepared, but I learned that I should always be prepared. One of my criticisms of myself was that I was not quick thinking, and I'm hoping that through these meetings, I can work on thinking quicker and coming up with what I want to say on the spot. Lastly, we had Alice, and she had, I'm sorry, not Alice, Ayu, and she had a good performance, use of gestures like sleeping, and I appreciated that. It keeps the audience involved with the story. And that is it. I will turn it back to the general evaluator.
Thank you very much, Deya, for your evaluation. Now it's time for our grammarian and accountant, Renee. Renee, are you ready? Yes.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. I will say at the onset, I have been distracted numerous times during this meeting. I apologize for that. You have all been extremely attentive, and that's very admirable. What I did capture were during Sarah's speaking, was used twice. Amy, during her speaking, used 3 times. Ishel, 1 time for I did not hear any noticeable grammatical errors, use of language errors. If someone else wanted to point something out, please feel free. And Deja actually did a pretty good job during her evaluation time of drawing attention to some of those crutch words and an improper improper way to speak the word and the pronunciation of the word. For word of the day, Deja said I could have used the word of the day, but I did actually say I was elated to be here during my introduction, but you are correct. I could have used it again. I totally did not hear the instructions for the table topics. So I was very caught off guard, which is a deficit, as you say, Deja, to not be always prepared. So I take note of that. Tiger used the word of the day. Shilpa used the word of the day twice that I heard. I did use the word of the day. Rakaya, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, used the word of the day, and so did Deja. And again, your self-analysis was very, very interesting, Deja. You did a really good job of feedbacking yourself. That's a very good quality. Thank you again for having me during your meeting today. I've really enjoyed it. Back to you.
I did have one note, if I may. Ishel, is it all right if I make a note?
Yeah.
Sarah, I just wanted to note in the very beginning when you used the word apparel, I think you said apparel. And I just wanted to point out that the correct accent is on the middle. What are they called? It's apparel, not apparel. So imagine the accent is on the second, what's the word?
Second what?
Instead of app, the accent is on the air, apparel. I'm blanking on the word of what it's called when you break down a word into 3 sections. Apparel.
Syllables.
Syllable, thank you, Shilpa. The accent is on the second syllable.
Yeah, and can I add something here? It's probably the American and the English way of saying things, apparel and apparel, and also cycle and bicycle. So that's what causes the difference, but it's always good to know both sides of the coin. So thank you for pointing that.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the observation. Now it's time for our timer. If you give us a report, but maybe for our evaluator, could you give us your report, Tiger?
Overall, our timing for the day was very good. I put the evaluators' times in the chat. Both Deja and Amy were on time. Shilpa went a little long. It's a contest speech, so I think she wanted to make sure that she got every point in. And Shilpa, I would highly recommend that you also send Alice, because you gave a lot of details, so I would also recommend that you send her a written so that she can evaluate that. Great timing today, everybody. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Yes, Tiger, thank you. Now it's my time, and I want to say that I am elated with this club. I love it so much, this club, because I will give my report since the beginning to the end how the meeting was going. First, I like it so much that I saw some of you before the time and before the meeting started. So, and also that Jasmine say, I will be late, and I like it so much how Aju took the role, and she started to say who is going to be the role, and that's so great. That is the point that I love this club, because all help together, all give some help. Really, like right now, also they just say something about grammarian, and also Renee, that it helps so much for us. And it's so great that native in English can hear and help us, that we are here as a second language. Also, then I want to say that Alice, I was so impressed that she came here late, and she said, yes, I'm ready, just like 1 second. It's so great. I said, wow. What's impressive. And also, well, then for the evaluation, Shilpa, great evaluation. And well, Alice is a winner, and even though you give more some tips, and I hope that she will win, and I would like to see this Saturday. Amy, I like it so much. Well, after Sarah, your speech, and I like it how Jasmine Shilpa started to talk and make your aim for your speech. That helped us so much that you can act how to control the audience. And I like it how Jasmine, Amy performance that. That is the reason I love this club. They try to make better and help together. As I should take the timer for Tiger, and even though she didn't say I will, you did, and you give the time. Amy, I like it your evaluation and all the words that you gave to Sarah, how to control the audience. I hope I will keep them, and I hope don't use in some like that situation. It's a very challenge that. Deja, you make a great evaluation for the table topic. The rule. Also, I have some interruption in my internet that I couldn't hear the instruction, but really it's good. Your all evaluation about grammar, your comments, great, thorough evaluation. And just I want to say that I love this club for all how they help together home. And also we make some mistakes, like I just say to Tiger, please give your report. But even though that we enjoy here, I like, and it doesn't matter. We enjoy, we elate this moment. And thank you very much. Now it's I come back with you with Toastmaster of the Day, Aju. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. That's actually very thorough evaluation, general evaluation report. Our fellow Toastmaster, the name of our club is Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers. So keep coming back. Heather, thank you for being here, and keep telling stories. With that, I will also adjourn the meeting.